You know, Digimon fans are fed a lot more than you realise. Looking in from the outside, the age-old argument of what is better, Pokemon or Digimon, still rages on. With a seemingly clear winner, Pokemon still dominates, even if Digimon is better. But take a step back and look at what we still get. The card game is still going strong, merchant figures still flood my Instagram timeline, taunting me every single day to buy them all. We still have new series airing with brand new casts and mons, and more importantly, for today's topic, we are still getting games. Digimon Time Stranger is a brand new 2025 Digimon game, and although my preferences for these titles will always lean more towards the world and the next order side of things, the more story driven RPG games have also been fantastic, so I was more than excited for this. So, how is it? Well, join me today as I dive into the opening of Time Stranger to see what it does to keep the player playing. Like with always, I may not be covering the full game, but that doesn't mean that I won't be touching upon early story beats, interactions and gameplay. So if you want absolutely nothing spoiled for you, then thank you for clicking and come back once you've played, or just check out some of my other stuff. I have a few full-on deep dives into classic games and a couple of short prologue only deep dives to keep you busy. Also, please don't forget to drop a like and a sub, it does help more than you will ever know. Thank you. Okay, shameless plugs are done, let's get into some Digimon. So I've no doubt already used snippets from this incredible opening anime sequence to the game, but interestingly enough, this intro is a meta title sequence to an actual show inside this real world. A show in which our operator tells us is an anime about our organisation. Our self-insert here works for a secret agency that investigates urban legends and anomalies found throughout the entire world. But ironically enough, with all small sightings and spottings of our organisation's doings, we ourselves have become an urban legend. This has led to the show itself being made. And I really like this. It is a lot to throw at us right away, but it's a lot of really cool setup in my opinion. A few small things that I also love is how we are meant to be an organisation, yet are wearing a uniform to make us stick out like a sore thumb. Of course we are being noticed. We even have the company's logo branded on our pants. This will be like James Bond having an MI6 patched onto his tux. The second thing I notice is just how floaty and fast our movement is here. I'm not sure if this is just something I picked up coming off the back of a few games with a lot slower movement, but this just seemed really quick. Am I an agent or the Flash? Running through the city amongst the backdrop of a protest happening to investigate a recent anomaly, it isn't long before we run into the main stars of the show, the Digimon, where we have to make our first decision. Which partner Digimon do we want? Patamon, Demi-Devimon, or Gomamon? So I have to mark the game down a point here for not starting me out with the best Digimon, Terriermon, and have to go with Patamon instead, which takes us into our first fight. Now, a lot is thrown at us here. It may seem very daunting at first to keep track of not just elemental types, but also our Digimon types: virus, data, and vaccine. Luckily though, the game does do a nice job of consistently letting the player know what type advantages you do have, without you having to remember yourself. Most attacks, after being used just once on a Digimon, will then remind you if that Digimon is weak to the element of the attack and the type of your Digimon. It is simpler than it sounds, trust me. A small few little touches that I do love. I've just always loved how much personality Digimon have. Each Digimon gives this cute little pose to the camera after winning each fight, which is always super endearing. And with them being able to talk and not just mumble their own name, they also come with a lot of one-liners or just belt out their signature moves, which always tickles my nostalgia bone. I also love this Digi attack option. The basics of it are this: you can command your Digimon to jump another Mon before they see you. Now what I love about this is the fact that if the Mon is a lot more weaker than you in your team, they will just be instantly defeated. It may only give you a small amount of rewards for doing so, but it also cuts down on a lot of unnecessary and potentially monotonous random fights with super weak Mons you would just be one-shotting anyway. A little further in, we soon run into some trouble. Now, this is also something that I really do love about the Digimon franchise. These guys can be scary. They are giant, destructive, and wild. They are a legit threat to people's safety. And the game does a good job of showing just how much of a leap in power that these Digimons can be, going from this, to this, to this. Anybody, fan or not, can tell the leap in power here. And it is setting us up nicely for our first upcoming boss fight, because we the player know that our weak little mons have to somehow take this big guy down. As for our new friend here, it's clear that she somehow knows more than us, and with time being in the title of this game, I bet we have some time travel shenanigans going on here. But for now though, we are told to simply stick with her and to follow her to this rooftop, and here is where the game starts to open up to us a little bit. Firstly, we can find our first skill disc. These are essentially new moves that you can equip to your Digimon. And I may be a purist when it comes to Digimon. I mean, I don't even like it when they can digivolve into multiple mons in these games, but I do like this idea, as it gives the player a way of not softlocking themselves to a fight where the enemy is completely resistant to you. Now, if an attack isn't effective, we have way more options available to us to use. It feels almost like the equip cards used in Tamers. We are also taught how to rest, an interesting mechanic in which by standing still for a certain amount of time, your Digimon will completely heal up. Now at first I wasn't too sure about this, as it does kind of undermine your item. Then I remembered that I never really used potions in RPGs anyway, and was quickly back on board with this idea. We don't make it too far before we are jumped once again by that monstrous Metal Greymon. Okay, it might be a little early in the game to be busting out these fan favourites like Omnimon, but I am not complaining. We wouldn't stand a chance against Metal Greymon here if he hadn't have turned up. Still, I think part of me would have liked handling Metal Greymon on our own. Once we have access to Digivolutions and a bigger team, it would have felt more rewarding to me personally. And speaking of growing, soon after this mini boss fight, we get access to conversion. This is how we will be building up our team of Mons. The basics are this. Going forward when we fight, the Digimon we defeat will be scanned. Once that scan has reached 100%, 200 if you want better stats, you can convert a scanned Mon onto our team. And this is such a great way to incentivize random encounters. Maybe you're sick of them and feel like your Mons are already a high enough level, but you really want that specific little guy in your team? Well, now you can just go and fight him. We start making our way through the destruction and up the building until we get to this great little moment.
What's wrong? Come on, quickly!
And you thought Metal Greymon was a monster. This kaiju seems to be the sole reason this whole area is a wasteland. And side note here, I couldn't be the only one that genuinely thought that blast had wiped out that girl, right? That 100% hit her. Anyway, we now need to find a way across. And lucky for us, that is where we run into this friendly Biomon, who we help and persuade us to fly across.
From here? You want me to fly to the other side from here? Okay, I'll try, but I'm not guaranteeing we'll make it. Well, grab on, here goes.
Well, thanks for trying, I guess, BO. The worst part is, they don't even become a member of your team. They just fail to fly you across and is like, wow, that was a lot. I think I need a nap. And you just leave them. Moving through this area though, we get a few more signs of what the girl was trying to warn us about. Some sort of Digimon war, as we find beaten mons lying everywhere. We also get access to Digivolution finally, and this is where so much of the game opens up to us. Each mon can digivolve into multiple stronger forms that can then go on to even stronger forms, and so on and so on. Each form requires certain things from you, however, whether it be a certain level or a certain stat, so it really encourages acquiring multiple of the same mons to trying to create each Digivolution. I really do enjoy this, even if again, a part of me is a Digimon purist. Making our way further up the building, we get this fantastic moment of watching that kaiju Digimon climb the building that we are in. I love the build up that this guy gets. I know it's going to be another case of Metal Greymon though, where if we do fight him, we will no doubt get a ton of help, because come on, how is my team of rookies going to take this thing down if they needed Omnimon's help for Metal Greymon? We finally make it to the roof.
What's all this? Why are Digimon gathering on the roof? Look out! Here comes trouble!
And what better first actual boss to fight than Kawagamon himself? And he is pretty tough, even with this new cross-trigger command that we get access to, which is just essentially a super move that we can pull off which heavily boosts our team. Still, even then, we are rookies, and this is a champion Digimon. He has a ton of health, hits hard, and he's pretty resistant to a lot of our attacks, even elements he is meant to be weak to. It's not so much a case where we are going to struggle, you still have access to a ton of items that can help keep your team nice and healed, but it will take a while of just firing all you have at him until he eventually goes down. So those are my thoughts on Digimon Time Stranger, and I may be a sucker for Digimon anyway, but I feel like there's also enough here to pull in non-fans of the series. It eases you in, and more importantly, makes it so you don't need to have any prior knowledge of Digimon itself. You don't need to have watched any of the shows, played any of the games to enjoy this. And there's also enough here in the prologue to keep a new player intrigued and wanted to continue, in my opinion. I think this was a fantastic opener, and I'm more than excited to continue playing. So thank you all for watching and for making it this far. Again, please don't forget to like and subscribe, it really does help with the channel, and do keep the conversation going below. I love to talk more Digimon down there. If you do like these shorter first impression style videos, then you can check out a couple that I have on Expedition 33 and the new Silent Hill F. But if you enjoy more long form, deep dive video essays, well, I've got a few of them to keep you busy too. Until next time, take care.